Hi, I'm Charmaine. Welcome to the Love of Self podcast, where we delve into the emotional aspects of finding love for self. Today's topic is Mother, Father. In my book, the first couple of poems are called Mother Yourself and Father Yourself. The meanings of these poems were about giving yourself all the things that you could not receive as a child, and recognizing that our childhood is a big foundation to who we are right now. And what was missing within that childhood has a large effect on our concepts of living, of our understanding of the interactions that we have with the world are often founded on how we grew up and what we dealt with in that growing up. So essentially, mothering ourselves and fathering ourselves can lay the groundwork of all of the internal needs that we have to make for ourselves. It's the responsibility that we give to ourselves to understanding our love for ourselves. Once we're able to conceive of our emotional makeup, how we've become our current mentality, and what our childhood brought within that, we can gain empowerment once we gain an understanding of what we needed but couldn't get from our parents. And while it doesn't necessarily mean that our parents were bad people, sometimes that can be the case and sometimes not, depending on who we're talking about. But whatever circumstances that we had to deal with as children were a part of our life's lesson of discovering something about ourselves, discovering our strength, discovering our mental makeup, and all of the mannerisms within that energy that was created. Once we're able to conceive of the concept of our childhood, once we can conceive of the energy within our childhood and how that brought our mentality to where it is today, and discovering all of the things that we may have needed and were not able to get for whatever reason, whether it be justified or not, we can take that into a discovery of what we need to do for ourselves today, how we can make up for what we lost during that time, how we can recognize ourselves through the needs of our childhood. No matter how perfect or harmful our parents could have been, parents sometimes may not understand all of the needs of the child, and the child may not have their own understanding to articulate what they need. And depending on the environment that we grew up in, however easy or hard it is to express yourself, there's a certain level of communication that takes age to develop. There's a certain level of understanding and experience that also takes age to develop. There's a point of brain development that needs to be able to conceive of its environment and needs time to do that. So as we process the life of our childhood and the interaction that we have with our parents and how that creates an interaction with ourselves may be a key factor of understanding how to begin loving ourselves and how to create love for ourselves. Understanding all the joy, all the care that we all needed when we were children. Looking at our past selves under a new heart, under a new mind that lets us know that we're cared for today in ways that we may not have been yesterday. There's a place inside of all of us that is still there as children, a place where we're trying to still connect within this world of how to be understood, of how to be seen, of how to be heard, of how to be known for all that we're trying to do within this space of life. We have the ability to grasp the concepts of living throughout life and understanding that connection to how we always imagined ourselves to be one day, and how that motherly love that is so internal, that is with such care, that is so nurturing and fulfilling, the place of comfort of our mentality of who we are, to the fatherly energy of being confident within ourselves and knowing that we are our own momentum to life's journey. We can do good things. We can work in whatever way we need to towards our own momentum of how our energy presents itself from ourselves, from one person to the next. And once we see ourselves through those motherly and fatherly eyes, through the loving concepts of how we feel about ourselves and what we then do with that feeling, how we all have an internal interaction that started from somewhere, that created the concept of life and how we conceive of it, how we're able to parent ourselves through life, through everything that we must do, as well as everything that we feel. The self-talk that parents our satisfied will, that we create a self-guidance toward life's goals and achievements, toward life's nurtured emotional presence, that lets us know that we matter, that lets us know that we are cared for, that we are loved, that we are at peace with the world, because we know we are here for some reason. We were made for some reason. We can create the honor of life when we honor our own existence, when we honor the needs that we acknowledge within ourselves and begin to give it to ourselves. When we know that all the things that have happened throughout life, from childhood to now, that we now must reckon with for our own healing momentum, as well as the encouraged energy of a renewed spirit, and how to continue on under the eyes of that child that once was, that lives within all of us, that knows that they can do it, that knows that they are loved, and that they are here for a reason, that their experience within this life is a value and is worthy of everything that they put out in the world. I'd like to thank you for taking these few moments to listen to what I have to say. I greatly, greatly appreciate you. So I'd like to ask you, what are the things that you need to mother or father yourself about? What needs right now do you think you could meet that were not met as a child? How do you think you could go about doing it? The child inside of you, if you spoke to them right now, what would you say? What would they need to hear from you? I'd love to hear from you. Please comment or email theloveofselfpodcast@gmail.com. Please remember, I am not a licensed therapist. Also, my book is available, Love Yourself, a book of poetry and spiritual writings for self-love. It is available now on bookbaby.com. Purchase link is in my Instagram bio. I wish you all peace, love, and joy, always. Until next time.